What if the world's most unexpected moment in music history happened right before your eyes? Could you believe that Suga, the genius from BTS, has just shattered a world record in America and rewritten history forever? Stay with us. React, comment your thoughts, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next unbelievable turn in this story. The world stood still, the headlines blazed, and fans everywhere gasped in disbelief. Could it truly be real? Dunya Tersingang. Suga jadi sosok pertama pekakan recur bersejarah di Amerika. The question burns. How could one artist, one individual from South Korea, step onto American soil and break a barrier no one dared to imagine possible? The story of Suga has always been filled with moments of surprise, raw honesty, and groundbreaking artistry. But this moment was different. It was more than just history being made. It was history being redefined. The cameras flashed, the crowds roared, and the internet shook under the weight of endless shares, retweets, and comments. Could anyone have predicted that Suga would be the first in the world to achieve what no other artist in his genre, in his industry, or even across global entertainment had ever managed? The United States, often considered the most challenging battlefield for international stars, became the very ground where Suga carved his name into eternal history. Millions of fans across the globe felt their hearts racing, tears streaming, and hands trembling as the news broke. It wasn't just a headline. It was a moment that redefined the meaning of success. Who is Suga in this instant? Is he merely a rapper, songwriter, or producer? Or has he now become the symbol of a cultural revolution that bridges East and West, tradition and modernity, passion and persistence? The emotions flooding in are overwhelming. Fans describe it as a near-spiritual moment, something that binds them together no matter the borders or the languages they speak. As one fan wrote in the heat of the moment, "This is not just Suga's record. This is our record. We are living history." And perhaps that is why the entire digital world refuses to look away, why this story refuses to die down, why people are still whispering, still screaming, still refreshing their screens to catch every detail. But what exactly is the record that Suga has broken? Why is it so earth-shattering, so deeply emotional, so historically unprecedented? For decades, countless artists have tried to leave a mark in America. Many have succeeded, but none have touched the boundary that Suga has now crossed. He is the first, the pioneer, the one whose name will forever be engraved on the annals of both music and cultural history. And yet, even now, the shock lingers, the disbelief lingers, the question lingers. How did he do it? How did Min Yoongi, the boy once dreaming in a small Daegu room, climb to this unimaginable peak where he now stands as the pride not only of South Korea, but of the entire world? The power of this moment lies not only in statistics or charts, but in the emotional tidal wave it has triggered. Streets in New York filled with chants of his name, giant billboards flickered his face into the night sky, and social media platforms collapsed under the pressure of his global fandom. It was as if the entire planet conspired to celebrate him, as if fate itself had been waiting for this exact moment to unfold. For every fan who once cried through his lyrics, who once found comfort in his honesty, this was their victory. For every skeptic who once doubted the global power of K-pop, this was the answer they could no longer deny. And yet, with triumph comes mystery. What does this mean for the future of music? Will Suga's achievement inspire the next generation of dreamers to break their own barriers, to conquer their own impossible odds? Will this be remembered as the turning point where the East and West finally united in unshakable harmony, not through politics or economics, but through the universal language of music and emotion? The questions hang in the air, unanswered, and perhaps that is what keeps the world on edge, unwilling to step away from this unfolding miracle. If you are reading this now, if your heart is racing with excitement, if you too cannot believe the magnitude of this moment, then let your voice be heard. Comment below what this achievement means to you. Hit the like button if you feel the pride, the thrill, the goosebumps. Subscribe now so you do not miss the next chapter in this unbelievable story, because what Suga has just done is not the end. It is only the beginning. History has been made. The world is watching. And somewhere in America, under the blinding lights of triumph, stands a man who dared to dream beyond borders and became the first to shatter the unshatterable. His name is Suga, and his story is now yours, mine, and forever ours. The echo of the crowd did not fade easily, nor did the headlines stop multiplying across every major outlet in America and beyond. Television anchors struggled to keep up with the surge of breaking news segments. Social media influencers went live with trembling voices, and fans clung to every pixel of footage showing Suga stepping onto the stage, onto the podium, into history. The question, however, refused to leave anyone's mind. How could one artist, whose journey began in the narrow streets of Daegu, suddenly hold the world's gaze as the first person ever to break this monumental record in America? Was it destiny, sheer persistence, or something even more mysterious, something that belongs to the realm of miracles? People are still asking themselves, did we truly just witness history? Or was this some kind of collective dream, an illusion too powerful to be real? Yet the proof is undeniable. Numbers do not lie. History does not rewrite itself, and emotions that unite millions across continents cannot be fabricated. Suga has achieved what no one else dared to believe was possible. He has become the first, the pioneer, the one who etched his name in the foundation of American music history while carrying the heartbeat of an entire culture behind him. The irony of it all is breathtaking. For years, industry experts in the West dismissed the possibility of K-pop truly conquering the American mainstream. They said it was a passing trend, a bubble waiting to burst, a cultural curiosity that would fade once the excitement waned. But Suga, calm, reserved, and quietly determined, stood against the tide of skepticism and whispered the truth through his music. And now, that whisper has grown into a roar so loud that the very walls of the American music industry have shaken, crumbled, and fallen. Can you imagine the emotional storm in that moment? The tears rolling down cheeks of fans watching live broadcasts in Seoul, Jakarta, London, Sao Paulo, and Los Angeles simultaneously. The collective gasp when the announcement was made. The way time seemed to freeze as the words rolled off the announcer's lips, declaring that Suga had done what no one before him could ever do. It was not just history, it was destiny manifesting itself in real time. Even now, weeks after the event, the impact continues to reverberate. Analysts try to break down the numbers, journalists attempt to craft the perfect headline, and fans relive the moment over and over again on their screens. Yet none of those efforts capture the raw truth of the night. Suga broke more than just a record. He broke the walls around human imagination. He proved that there are no ceilings, no limits, no boundaries too high for a dreamer with enough passion, talent, and resilience. But here lies the emotional core of the story. This record was not just about him. It was about every person who ever felt too small to matter, too weak to break through, too invisible to be noticed. It was about the outcasts, the dreamers, the underdogs who never stopped believing that they could change the world if they only held on a little longer. When Suga stood there, holding that title, basking in the astonishment of America, he carried all of them with him. Every voice that once cried in silence now found its echo in his triumph. And yet, beyond the pride and celebration, another question arises. What comes next? What happens when an artist shatters a boundary so immense that it seemed immovable for decades? Does this open a new era for music where no culture is considered too foreign, no voice too small, no dream too big? Will America, often the gatekeeper of global recognition, now embrace not just one artist, not just one group, but an entire wave of talent from around the world? Or will this be remembered as a singular miracle, a once-in-a-lifetime event that belongs solely to Suga? For now, the answers remain elusive. What is certain, however, is that the story has only just begun. This is not the end of Suga's journey, nor is it the climax of his career. If anything, it is the beginning of a new chapter, one where his name will forever be linked with the phrase "the first in the world to break the record in America." That phrase, repeated endlessly in headlines, etched permanently into digital archives, and engraved in the hearts of millions, will continue to inspire generations long after the noise of this moment fades. But let us not forget the humanity in all of this. Behind the flashing lights, the roaring applause, and the monumental statistics lies a man who once doubted himself, who once questioned whether his dreams were too big for the life he was born into. Behind the grandeur lies Yoongi, the young boy who carried notebooks full of lyrics, who endured nights of exhaustion, who whispered to himself that maybe, just maybe, one day he would prove the world wrong. And now he is .so we ask you again, reader, how does this moment make you feel? Do you feel the electricity running through your veins as you picture Suga standing there? Do you?